Vicky Marie. Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you are in this crazy world we're living in. Do you remember that expression they used to use? Can stop the world, I want to get off. That's how it feels a lot of the time, isn't it? You just think, oh my God, especially nowadays when we get to hear about all sorts of things going on all over the world. You just think sometimes you just have to use mindfulness. Maybe that's what we'll talk about tonight in the members' live. How to be mindful, not get, because some of these things that go on, they sort of fascinate you and worry you at the same time. That's how I feel about this, about all true crime. I can't help it. I'm sort of just drawn in by the things that people do. It's fascinating, but it's not very nice, is it? And sometimes it's very sad. Well, it's always very sad, and especially sad sometimes when it's a young girl like Madeline and learning what she's gone through. And she was still smiling on her photos, even though through everything that she'd been going through for years and nobody was there to help her. So that's how I feel a bit at the moment. Stop the world, I want to get off, but I still can't help being intrigued by these things that people do. As soon as you stop with one case, there's another case comes up. There's always something to talk about, isn't there? But it's important to talk about them because that's what I go through every day. It's like a moral dilemma. Why am I doing this? Why do I talk about true crime? Why am I fascinated by true crime? And I think it's because of the experience I had when I was younger. I really do feel that I'm lucky to be alive. I know that some of these stalking crimes that I've looked at, that could have been me. Can resonate with all of it. So I think that sort of started it. But when I think back, even when I was a kid, I was always sort of interested in dark things, always interested in the psychology of people, why they do things. What did Stephan Sterns? I mean, obviously, he did whatever he did. It was an sex motive originally for all those years, the abuse. But what possessed him? To kill Madeline in the end, and also what possessed him to even think they could ever get away with it. So what's really in this video, we're going to talk about the latest audio releases. Now, some of it, because I thought, have I heard some of these before? And I have, but I think what they've done is they've released a lot more now of the original videos, or audio anyway, that they released. So there's more to it now. I noticed there was a lot in it when I was listening to it last night. There's a lot in this audio. It's like, I think there's about 2 or 3 interviews in this. There's a lot that I hadn't heard before, and there's some that I had heard before. So I wonder if they've just released it more fuller versions. It's fascinating because you can see he's getting a little bit fed up of being questioned. And I don't think I'd ever listened to anything where that had come over before. It's like almost like, why are you still questioning me? And they're asking him the same questions over and over because they're hoping that he'll say something different, trip himself up. And it's so fascinating and satisfying that when they ask him a question that they know the answer to, did you go back there? Did you turn around there? Did you do this? And he doesn't know what to say because he doesn't know what they know. And they know a lot by now. By the time these interviews are happening, they know quite a lot. They've seen the CCTV. He doesn't know that, or that as it dawns on him, it's like, well, what do they know? So he doesn't know what to say. He's not a morning person. That's what he says repeatedly. I'm so sorry. I don't really remember. I'm not a morning person. Well, he was up early that morning trying to dispose of Madeline's body, but he's not a morning person, according to him. And he's sorry. He's got ADHD. He's got this. He's got that. He's on this meds. He's on that meds. Oh my God, the meds going around. They could have had a pharmacy in their house. I've never known anybody be on so many medications for anxiety, for ADHD, for bipolar, for sleeping, for this, for that. Bloody popping a pill for everything. every single thing. You know, they need to go for a poo, they're going to pop a pill first. You know, that's how obsessed they are with medication in that household. So that's what we're going to listen to. We're going to listen to these, to this audio, which really is a couple of interviews all in one. I haven't got around to read. I've still got Jen's audio to listen to that the police sent me, but I don't know if that's the same audio that I already had, or whether it's a new audio. So I'm going to listen to that. That'll be my bedtime listening tonight, probably. I fell asleep listening to Stephan Sterns talking last night, which is probably why I didn't sleep very well. Anyway, it's important that people know about this man. This man, well, he's never coming out of prison. He'd be lucky if he doesn't get the death penalty. We know he's not coming out of prison. That's the only satisfaction, isn't it? Anyway, first of all, I'd like to say thank you to everyone, my subscribers, those of you like my videos or don't like my videos, those of you who watch my videos, those of you who participate in the chat, those of you who don't participate in the chat. I'm going to say hello to everyone in the chat in a moment, but also I want to say hello to those of you who are just watching, don't like to participate in the chat, or a bit shy, maybe that's fine. And also hello to those of you watching on Replay Crew. Thank you to all of you, and a special thanks to my members. Tonight's members live, Let's Chat members live. So if you want to join in the special members live tonight, you can join for $1.99 a month, that one. And that's a members live every Thursday evening. Or you can join the Carry On Chatting, for which you get the members lives on a Tuesday and a Thursday. So 2 members lives, and that's $4.99 a month. I want to thank everyone who's bought me a Ko-fi. The link is there, and I probably will, as the videos go, and put it on every now and again. Sometimes people ask me for that. Those of you who sent me a super, those of you who PayPal me, sent me an email, left me a nice message. Thank you so much for helping support my channel in whichever way you do it. Okay, let's take the banner off, and then we'll go. I'm going to say hello to everyone, and then we'll get into listening to Stephan. And be prepared to get angry. I know we always get angry. Sometimes as we said in the last live, sometimes you feel like the people, us, and the people in the chat, you at home, people who leave comments, we get angry. We're more angry than Stephan's mum and dad are, for example. You know, who just they just want their poodle ambulance back and their iPhone, and they're probably just relieved that Stephan's there in prison. They just send him sweets and origami packets. That's another thing we'll have to go through one day, the emails that go in between Stephan and his family. So let's say hello to everyone. Oh, you've been chatting quite a lot. Hi, David. Hi, Chumba. Hi, Kelly. Hi, BF. Yeah, it's the register. It's the register here. Did you ever do it at school where you would shout for somebody else? So they'd call out their name and then you'd shout for them because they weren't there. Hi, Heather. Hi, Kelly. Hi, Cherish. Hi, Moonbeam. Hi, Laurie. Hope I'm not missing anyone. I was trying to slow down. Okay. Okay, so let me just set it up. Set it up. So I'm going to put always harder to set up the audio, funny enough. Honestly, I'm getting there. Right, there you go. I'm going to put that up there while we listen. Okay, share screen. Okay, are you ready? Are you ready to get angry? And you know, it's not, he's not nice to listen to, he's not nice to look at, but I think we have to keep this outrage. We have to remember, for Madeline's sake, because you know Madeline can't stick up for herself, but you know we can be outraged for her.
Real quick, you sort of affirm that everything about Son is the truth?
Yes.
Perfect. So you know kind of why I'm at here, right?
Mm-hmm.
Involving. When is the last time that you saw?
Dropped her off yesterday morning.
Okay. About what time was it?
Approximately sometime between 8:25 and 8:40 is when I dropped her off.
And where were you dropping her to?
I was taking her to school.
Got it. And it's my understanding that you dropped her off like a little bit away from school.
Yeah, she sometimes likes to get dropped off a bit down the road away. She likes to walk over and catch up with her friends, or just not being seen, you know, getting out of a hoopty in front of school.
Okay. And when you say hoopty, you're referring to your
car that she's embarrassed to be seen getting out of.
Got it. Okay. Where did you drop her off at? Do you remember approximately?
It was.
You're good.
It was along the stretch of road, kind of where all those communities are, leading up to the overpass.
Did he really just yawn then? Did he really just yawn? Oh my God. Oh, excuse me. Yeah, no, my 13-year-old stepdaughter's gone missing, but, you know, excuse me.
And then the school's on the other side of the overpass. So I dropped her off along that stretch where all those communities are.
Gotcha. Is it like on the sidewalk or near the parking lot?
There's a sidewalk there. And then they've got the church on the other side of the street, and then the overpass, and then the school. So it was maybe no more than a block away.
Okay. Is the school within like eyesight of where you drop her off? Or is
the overpass was definitely within eyesight, and the school was literally just on the other side of the overpass.
Gotcha. So if you were to guesstimate it, would it be like a quarter mile, half mile?
Yeah, maybe like a 5-10 minute walk,
Gotcha.
Depending on your speed.
Okay.
But she also likes the cool morning walks too. She was wearing her hoodie and she was feeling the cold weather, and she likes that.
How common is it of you to drop her off to school in the morning?
It's not common for me to do it most of the time, but I'm up here and I'm helping out as much as I can and working. So she was trying to get as much sleep as possible. And I was doing the school run this morning.
Okay. Do you live here? Do you live somewhere else, or what's that look like?
I live here, but I split my time between here and my parents' place down south in Northport. They're getting on in years and they need some help.
Got it. Okay. For how long have you lived here with them?
Oh gosh, years now. A couple years maybe now.
Okay. And what does your time splitting look like? Are you here for days, weeks, months, something else?
Weeks at a time, yeah.
And so, I guess, when did you arrive this block of time that you were here?
Day before yesterday, actually.
So,
night
Saturday?
Yeah.
I think. So you got here Saturday night. Got it. It was down in Northport that you actually split your time with. When did you start splitting your time between here and Northport?
A little while ago. My dad, I was working at Disney for a while. My dad was coming up and getting lunch with me. started discussing how they're getting on in years and they're going to need some help soon. And they'd really need me to come back down and help them out. And,
was that this year or last year?
Last year, heading into this year, yeah.
So like December-ish.
Yeah, they're already making end of life plans. So.
Oh no, I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah, well, at least they're getting a plan together now.
So normally, if you do drop her to school in the morning, although it's typically not you, is that typically what she requests is to be dropped? Is that from everyone or just because of your car?
She doesn't mind getting dropped off much. It's the nicer white Sentra over there. But it is very common for her to get dropped off down the road and want to walk up and find her friends and kind of hang out.
Does she typically hang out with her friends only at school, or does she have any in the neighborhood here?
She doesn't have any in the neighborhood here, but she does have friends from school that she gets together with on weekends and whatnot.
Okay. So after you dropped her off sometime between 8:25, 8:40 area, do you remember? I
left my phone at home, so I wasn't sure what the...
Gotcha. That's fine. Do you remember what you did after?
Yeah, after I left her, I was watching her in the rearview mirror. I was just driving away. She looked like she was making her way towards the school like normal. So I went on with my day. Went over to the vape shop nearby. They were not open yet. So I came back home, hung out for a little while with Jen. And then after about an hour, I went to check the vape shop again, and they were open. So I took care of my stuff there, and it became a normal day.
Okay. So just to go through I asked Jennifer the same questions, just to go through everyone's days, but just to go through yours. So you dropped her off at school, and you said you went to the vape shop?
Correct.
They weren't open?
Correct.
Do you remember about what time you got home?
Got home around maybe 10:15.
Gotcha. And was Jennifer here?
Yeah, Jen was here. She had been sleeping in. Her new work schedule has had her kind of messed up, so she was trying to sleep in as much as possible.
Gotcha. So when you got back around 10,
she was just
waking up.
Yeah. So we hung out for a little while, chit-chatted. Then I went and checked the vape shop again, got my stuff, came home again, hung out for a little while. We talked about maybe, doing some DJ shopping or something after we picked up. And then she wanted to take a nap again. I had a couple errands I needed to run, so that worked out fine. I wanted to check out a couple of the card game shops in the area.
Oh, okay.
One of my trading card games just had a new release, so I just wanted to look at stuff. Ended up getting a flat tire.
Okay.
So that's why my hoopties on.
Where'd you get a flower? Where'd you get a flat tire?
192. That was hair raising.
And that was when you were out shopping during the day?
Yeah. That was between the hours of noon and like 2.
Okay. Got it. And then so after
we needed to leave by 2:30 to go get in line and get ready to pick up.
Got it. So you guys went and picked her up together?
That was the goal. Yes, I was going to go with them, but I ended up getting a flat tire. So
you couldn't.
Yeah, I got back literally 10 minutes after she left, apparently.
Got it. And so forgive me, I missed something. I kind of missed it in the middle of there, but you got back home around 10. You hung out with Jen, and then y'all just kind of hung out, and then did you separate to go shopping, or?
She took a nap, and then I went and ran my errands.
Okay, got it. And then around noon or 2 o'clock, is when you got the flat tire, and she was leaving to pick up.
No, so when we hung out first, I'd gone to the vape shop, which was now open, to get my vape, and then came back and hung out more. And then we separated, and I did my errands, and she took a nap.
Got it.
That was around.
Sorry, I just want to stop it a minute, because this about the vape shop it's just the most stupid thing that he said. He kept going on and on. I went to the vape shop. Vape shop. But he admits later he knew the vape shop didn't open till 10 o'clock. So what's he doing going to the vape shop at 5 to 9 and expecting it to be open, or 8:45? I think that was he just kept saying the vape shop, the vape shop. But later, when the police pick him up on it, you sat there for 40 minutes and waited for for an hour to wait for the vape shop to open. Then he says, "Oh well, I was going to sit there for 40 minutes." You don't sit in a car for 40 minutes waiting for something to open. You might wait 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 at push, but you're not going to go somewhere an hour before it opens and sit in the car and wait for it to open. And then he said, "Oh, but it didn't open when it was supposed to open." This vape shop thing was just crazy. And it just shows, when you hear these idiots talking, like totally underestimating the detectives, you wouldn't have to be Hercule Poirot to realise that he's talking a load of crap about this vape shop. You wouldn't have to even be the best detective in the world to know. That's just basic. Everybody know human nature. You might wait 10 minutes, 5-10 minutes, 15 at a push, but no one's going to sit in their car waiting for an hour for the vape shop to open.
Around noonish when that.
Got it. Okay, I just want to make sure I have that straight. So you went back to the vape shop. Which vape shop is it? Where's the vape shop around here?
E-cigarette online on John Young.
Oh, okay, I didn't know there was one around here.
E-cigarette, e-smoker, e-something online, but I've been going to them for a while. I think I'll remember their name.
And you made it out there about what time is that?
That was probably just after 11 that I finished up there.
Okay. Got it. Now, can you remember the day prior to Monday? Do you remember, I guess if anything happened between Saturday night and Monday when you were here that might have sparked wanting to...
She was so happy.
Okay. Because already, right?
Yeah, all three of us are together and she is so happy.
Tell me about Sunday night. Tell me about Sunday into Monday. What you remember?
She just had a party.
Mm-hmm.
She was excited.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry.
It's okay.
Just talking about crushes. Her singing that was coming up, and you want me to come see her sing?
Mm-hmm.
Nothing bad. She was just happy. She was very happy. Everyone was happy. There's nothing out of the ordinary. I can't remember anything particular that happened. I showed her the movie Sister Act.
Ah, okay.
She was singing so well, I told her she reminded me of the choir. When they got their stuff together and started singing better, I wanted to show her.
Gotcha. So Sunday night, how do you decide, who's going to get her ready for school in the morning and everything?
I take her to school in the morning so she can sleep in as much as possible.
Okay.
I agreed. I've done the school run a few times before. It's not usually my forte, but I don't mind helping.
And so Jennifer shared with me, typically you normally sleep in the upstairs guest bedroom.
Yeah.
And then she will sleep together in her own bedroom.
Correct.
But Sunday, so Jen could get better sleep, she said she's just sent you both upstairs, correct? Yeah. Gotcha. Okay. Do you remember about what time you went to bed and woke up?
Bed, probably 11, quarter after. Wound up after her party. And we were getting up really, really early so we could make good time getting out of the door. So we got up around 7.
Yeah, y'all left pretty early.
Yeah.
Okay. Did you see Jen at all in the morning? Or was she still asleep?
Yeah, I saw her a couple times. I was in and out of her room talking to her.
Got it. Okay. And that was before you left around, what time did you leave? About 8:30?
No, earlier than that. We made such good time. I mean, we were so impressed. We made such good time getting out the door. I mean, we were probably out by 7:30, 7:45.
Okay.
Because we wanted to get McDonald's breakfast. We had been talking about it anyway. She ended up not wanting it after all.
Got it. Any trouble at all recently at home?
No, not recently.
No arguments that you can remember between her and you? Anything that's upset her?
Not for a while.
When was the last time?
Maybe a month. Typical, mood swing stuff. She has some pretty bad PMS when she gets it, and being a teenager on top of it doesn't help.
Yeah. I know all about it. Now you said I think you said she left her phone, right?
Yeah.
Where did she leave her phone at?
She left it in her room. She's ADHD. So am I, for that matter.
Oh, yeah,
so
you left your phone too, huh?
Yeah. So we try to be on top of her about that, not forgetting things, but we're also a bit forgetful too.
Got it.
But yeah, it's not uncommon for her to forget everything.
She leave it in her room or
she
in the
she left
bedroom?
it in her room. She must have been grabbing her shoes or a hoodie or something and set it down, and that's just how it goes.
Okay.
Now, they kept saying that it was common for her to leave her phone because she had ADHD. I just don't believe that. Whether a teenager's got ADHD or not, they just don't forget their phones, do they? It's like a part of them. They've grown up with these days now. Young people, that's their phone is literally part of them. Trying to think of something it might have been like years ago that we wouldn't have forgotten. I can't think of anything really, because we just went out and met up, and don't think there was anything really that I would always make sure I had. Maybe my key to get back in, that's about it. But yeah, I just don't believe that. But anyway, we know now that it's not true anyway, because she didn't forget her phone. The poor girl was deceased.
Got it. Gotcha. Is it typical of her, I guess, to forget things like that?
Yeah, very, very typical.
Cool. Got it. All right, man. Well, I mean, you know her better than I do. Is there anything you can think of that, as someone who doesn't know her, that I might be missing out on here? Like somewhere she may like to be, or somewhere she...
Everything that everywhere that we think she could possibly be, we've checked. And I mean, literally the whole family is just...
So that the deputies found the video from the church last night of her in the parking lot.
We heard that they saw someone.
So can you think of a reason that she might have gone and waited in that church that's across the street for a couple minutes before she would have headed back off to school?
Yeah. I mean, she had time to kill, so I don't know. She said she was going to hang out and find her friends, but when I left her, she was on the other side of the street, rummaging through her backpack and just kind of moving towards the school area, so it looked normal.
Yeah, time to kill. When he said that, it gave me a real chill. We had time to kill. He had time to kill at some point in that evening. I'd really like to know, when did he get Madeline into that car? Did he take her out in the middle of the night, or did he take her out in the early hours of the morning just before he took the dog out? How did he, did he pick her up and put her over his shoulder to put her in the car? How did he get her into the car without anybody seeing her? Because she obviously didn't walk into the car.
What do you think she was looking for?
I assumed she was just looking for some headphones or something for her walk, but she might have been looking for her actual phone.
Got it. Okay. Yeah, I mean, that's all I can really think of at the moment. I think I have a phone number for you. I tried calling you earlier, but you might have just been asleep.
Yeah. So sorry.
No, it's okay. 256-1832.
That's correct.
Gotcha. What's your
Imagine that as well, like just being asleep when the police phone you. So your daughter, if in effect, supposedly she calls Stephan dad. He thought of her like his own daughter, and she's missing. And when the police rang, he was just asleep. What if the police were ringing? Obviously we know that he was him. He knew exactly where she was. That she was, the police weren't going to be ringing him with any good news. They weren't going to be ringing him saying, "Oh, come down to the station. We've got Madeline here. We found her." But that just says it all, doesn't it? I bet any of those police would say, anytime they've dealt with a missing child, the parents cannot sleep. They probably have to tell the parents, look, you need to sleep. Go at the night time, not in the daytime. And that again, these are all telling things before they'd even found anything on his phone. They must have known, because when your child's missing, you don't go to sleep in the middle of the day and not be there to answer the phone. If you do decide to go to sleep, or maybe you're given a sedative, you give your phone to somebody else. So make sure no phone call is missed, either from Madeline, because it could have been Madeline calling, help me, help me. It could have been, the police calling to say they found her. It could be anybody calling. So if you're going to go to sleep and ignore the phone.
your address when you stay down south?
When I'm down south, it's
It's just gone.
my parents'
Some
house,
of it's
so I
been
did not
taken
like
out.
being there if I can help it.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's nice of you to help them out.
Yeah, it's just a stressful environment full of poodles and deaf old people.
So after you dropped time at around 8:20 or so, you didn't to get to the vape shop, do you have to like swing?
This detective, I think he really gets Stephan into his confidence, doesn't he? He comes over really well. He's asking him all the right questions, but he comes over as if he's understanding him. Stephan thinks, probably thinks, oh, I'm getting one over on him. The lady detective later, she's a little bit different, I think. I think she's like much more sort of, Stephan gets quite irritated with her because he knows his stories aren't going down well. I think up to this point with this detective, he's thinking, oh, he's on my side.
Back around at all to where the school area is? Is there any chance she saw your car or something and was flagging you down? Or
No, I basically just turned around right there.
okay, so there's no chance she would have like seen you from that church parking lot when you were swinging back around to the vape shop?
I would have already been gone at that point.
Okay, got it. Yeah, I mean, at this point, I'm just trying to figure out, what might have cost her to go there and then what cost her to leave.
So remember, at this point, they'd still had that CCTV that they thought might have been Madeline at the church. Stephan must have thought it was Christmas when they told him that they've got CCTV of her, actually there. He knows full well he hasn't dropped her off because she was deceased. But suddenly the police saying, oh, well, we've got this CCTV of someone who could be Madeline in the church. So he must have thought, oh, my God, this is brilliant. But he knew it wasn't her, of course, because he knew exactly where she was, where he dumped her.
Because I think she did stay there till about 8:50, just before school starts. When does school start? 9:30?
9:15, I think, is the latest that they should be there by. I think it starts around 9:20 officially.
Gotcha. Is she familiar with that parking lot at all? Is that somewhere she hangs out? Or
a lot of the kids will sort of rendezvous there before heading into school.
Gotcha. Do you recall seeing any other kids walking in the area when you were dropping her off?
We were early. Earlier than usual. She was confident that it was fine. She was just going to hang out and wait for her friends.
Okay. Did she mention that to you at all? Or
Yeah,
did she say anything?
I asked her, because we were a little early. We still had some time to go. I said, you want me to wait with you? She said, no, just drop me right here. I'm going to walk up and find my friends.
Okay.
which is something that she normally does anyway. It wasn't out of the ordinary. I agreed to it. Seemed like she was making her way towards the school. And I went on with my day.
All right. Well, I appreciate you talking to me. I'm going to go ahead and end this. 12:23 hours.
Case number 24-11313. Today's date is February 27, 2024. The time is 19:16 hours. We're in Kissimmee speaking with Stephan Sterns. Okay, so I know that you already spoke to the other detective, right, about everything that kind of happened today. If you can just kind of go over it with us one more time, the timeline from like when you guys woke up and took her to school and all that.
So we woke up early. The plan was that we were going to get McDonald's breakfast on the way, so we made.
See that big sigh? He's getting fed up now saying this same story. It's like, God, I mean, just obvious, really, isn't it? If you really wanted to find your daughter or your stepdaughter, you'd be, yeah, come on, let's go through it again. Let's try and think of something else, some other thing that might have happened that I've missed. He's just like, oh my God, I could be at home asleep. Why am I have to be here talking to you?
Amazingly good time.
I don't mean to interrupt you, okay? Neither of us were here yesterday, so if you can be kind of like specific about like times and stuff like that, okay?
Woke up around 7:15, somewhere around there, which is an early start for us, but we had talked about getting McDonald's breakfast beforehand, so we wanted to make good time. We did make good time. We got out the door maybe 7:30, 7:45-ish, maybe. Got over to that area. She was asleep in the car most of the time, just snoozing until we got there. We got to McDonald's. We're close to McDonald's. I said, "You still want it?" She wasn't interested in the McDonald's anymore, so we continued on. And she wanted to be dropped off a little down the ways from the school. She's got this phase that she's been into lately where she's very particular about what car she's seen getting out of in front of the school. My cars are, I guess, kind of hoopties. I get it. It's an image thing. But that was sometime probably between 8:20 and 8:40-ish, somewhere in there. It was along the stretch of the road that on the right side that has all the communities on it.
Mm-hmm.
Before you get to the overpass. You could see the overpass from where it was.
Mm-hmm.
So it was on that side, on that stretch of road. And that's where I dropped her off. She said she was going to go wait for her friends. She was going to find them and hang out and wait for her friends. And I asked if that was going to be okay. She said, yeah, it's fine. Kids get dropped off early enough as it is. It's not totally unusual for that to happen. It's just not usually that early that I drop her off. I do school runs every once in a while for her. I said, okay. Let her out. Have a good day. Love you. Thanks. Love you too. And I turned around and was driving away and was watching her in my rearview mirror to make sure that she was going where she was supposed to go. And she was moving in that direction, but she was rummaging around in her backpack or something. What I assumed was probably headphones or something like that. But I find out later that she forgot her phone here, so she may have been rummaging for her phone. But she was still kind of making her way towards that direction, so it looked okay. It looked like any other day. And I just continued on.
Okay. When you said you dropped her off, like, in the area, kind of like where exactly did you drop her off?
So if you pull down the street going towards the school, you've got that whole strip of communities on the right side there.
Mm-hmm.
It was in that stretch of sidewalk there. We pulled in and maybe about halfway up the street or so, and she was like, right here's good.
Was it like in one of the apartment complexes, the church?
Not in, it was outside from the apartment. It was just on the sidewalk on the side of the road there, just like a tuck and roll, you know?
Okay, so like if I were to be on the road, where, like, what do you remember seeing that you dropped her off at?
I remember the overpass is up ahead.
Mm-hmm.
The sidewalk was on the right, row of trees. There's, I think, a median in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
And then there was another community maybe across from that before you get to the church.
Mm-hmm.
So it was like before the church.
So Town Loop Boulevard's that street that connects to the school.
Yeah.
Is that the street that you?
Is this which one?
So that's Town Loop Boulevard, right? That's the one
yes. And where's the school located here?
The school's right here.
School's right there. Okay, so the school would be on the left in this case. Here's the overpass.
So you guys came from this side?
Yeah, we came from Town Loop, I think, which is Town Center. Yeah, so we made a right here and then pulled somewhere about.
So you came from Town Center and turned onto Town Loop.
Yeah, where's the church? Is this the church here?
There is
so,
that's the church.
Okay, so we weren't up to the church yet. So we were pulled onto here, and then we pulled maybe about halfway up here, and I dropped her off somewhere in this area here.
And she walked from there to the school?
Yeah.
It's a pretty long way.
It's maybe a block or so, but it's not out of the ordinary for her. She likes to do that sometimes. She likes the cold weather. She was wearing her hoodie. She likes the cold walks.
So you dropped her off near Lilac? Does that sound right?
Yeah, it wasn't at a cross street. It was just a bit of the sidewalk there.
So did you merge into the sidewalk, or did you stop in the middle of the street, or?
I just pulled over to the sidewalk there. Let her hop out.
How often do you drop her off?
This might be the 5th or 6th time I've ever done it.
Okay. And when you drop her off, where do you normally drop her off at?
Normally down the street from the school. She requests that a lot.
Like the same area or somewhere else?
Especially if it's sometimes in the church parking lot, sometimes just wherever she tells us to let her out. As long as it's close, you know.
So it's halfway between Town Loop and Town Center and the church?
Yeah, it's just in this stretch right here. Like we got about maybe halfway up and it was there.
The McDonald's that you guys were going to stop at, did you pull into the plaza at any point?
No, she 86'd the idea before we even got there.
What do you mean by 86?
Poo-pooed the idea, didn't want it anymore.
Okay.
Wasn't in the mood anymore.
At any point while you were driving to the school, did you make a U-turn?
Yeah, I tried to sell her on McDonald's one more time because I was still kind of hungry, but at that point she was also just wanting to get to school.
Okay.
So
Where
turned right back around.
Where did you make that U-turn at?
Actually, the school not the school parking lot, the church parking lot. I pulled into that, turned around and pulled back out. Did a UE there and went back to the McDonald's, and she still wasn't having it. And that's when we came back. See, the McDonald's is on the same Town Loop or Town Center. It connects to the same road that the
school's on.
Yeah, so it's like a straight shot.
So you guys came from, just so I can kind of get a good visualization, Town Center, and where did you come from? Town Center.
Town Center. So where's the McDonald's? I'm so bad at reading these. I'm sorry. So we
This
came.
is all Town Center.
So we came across on Town Loop, I believe. Is that the school is that the road that the school is on?
No, this is Town Center. So you said you were on Town Center, and then you made a right on Town Loop, which is the one that takes you to the school.
Yes, correct.
Right.
I think you passed it.
But what I'm saying is, before Town Loop, for Town Center, what street did you take?
I'm so sorry. I'm bad with the streets around here.
How do you usually get to the school?
I just take John Young and then wait till I see the McDonald's and make a left there, and then follow that around, and that goes straight into the road that the school is on. And just use the landmarks, and I don't memorize the street names.
Is that JYP?
Yeah. Yeah, so this is JYP.
And then at the McDonald's, you turn right?
And then you said you made a left at the McDonald's? So that's John Young Parkway, you're going north on John
McDonald's, and then go around, and then that shoots straight into the road that she's on.
Okay. Because
I believe that's the correct road.
Yeah, well, that's the fastest way to get there. But You told me you came from Town Center and Town Loop.
I'm sorry, I don't know the street names.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
So
I'm doing my
no,
best.
that's okay. So now that we know that you came from Jungyoung Parkway and you made a left on Town Loop,
Mhm.
so you passed the
So,
McDonald's.
Yeah, that was when she said no to McDonald's the first time.
Okay. So you guys keep on going on Town Loop.
Yeah. But at that point, we still had a lot of time to kill. Very early.
So what did you guys do?
Drove towards the school, made a U-turn, came back, tried to do the McDonald's thing again. She didn't want it.
So where did you, one more time, where did you do the U-turn at?
It probably was right by the church because it was still way too early for school. So it was on that stretch of road. I mean, they had the meeting there and the separation, so that left turn where the church is, you can make a U-turn there.
And then after you dropped her off, what did you do?
Stayed, talked to her for a minute, made sure, is it all right that you're going early? Because it was still early.
Mm-hmm.
She said, yeah, it's fine. I'm going to hang out and wait for my friends to get there, which she does sometimes, so it didn't sound outrageous or anything. That was it. Told her to have a good day. I loved her. She told me she loved me too. I turned around to leave, and I was watching her in my rearview mirror. And she looked like she was walking in the right direction. She was rummaging in her bag a little bit, like I said, but still sort of just shambling in the right direction while she was doing it. So it looked normal. It looked okay.
Okay, and then what did you do after you left the area?
I left to go to the local vape shop because I needed some more vape juice. They weren't quite open yet, so I ended up going back home. Hung out with Jen for a little while. Waited about an hour or so, and then went back and checked the vape shop again. It was open, so I got what I needed there, and came back home and hung out with Jen again for a while.
Do you remember what time you came home?
The first time was probably right around 10, close to it. And then I waited here and went back to the vape shop. Probably finished at the vape shop and came back home again a little after 11.
Okay. You said the first time that you hung out with Jen for a little bit, right?
Yeah.
Was Jen here when you got here at
Yes.
10? Okay.
I think so. She might have been at her blood appointment. Let me double check. I know she had a blood appointment at some point during the day.
It's okay. We don't have to ask her right now.
Sorry, everything's a blur.
So she might have been here. She might have not have been here
I
the first time.
believe she was here because she was sleeping in as much as she possibly could because she's been messed up with her work schedule. So she had to be here because she didn't want to sleep in.
Okay.
I'll double check, but yeah, I believe she was here.
And then what time did you say you left again to the smoke shop?
Maybe after an hour or so, maybe 11 or so.
Okay. And then what time did you get to the smoke shop?
It's maybe 10 minutes away, so not long after that. Stopped in and got some juice. And
What's the name of the smoke shop?
East Monroe.
Okay.
It's just over off of John Young. It's not far from the school.
And then after the smoke shop, what did you do? Okay, for how long?
At least until maybe 12:30, 12:45ish, something like that.
And then what'd you do after that?
I had a couple errands to run over on 192. She was talking about making a BJ shopping list. She just wanted to make sure I was back in time for us to both go pick up. So I was visiting some card shops around the area on 192. I'm kind of a nerd, so we had a new trading card game release, and I was seeing what the situation was with it.
Do you remember what places you visited?
Yeah, he's like a bloody teenager going and buying all these cards, and he's just never grown up, this man. He's not a man, is he? He's a man baby. That's what he is. Going back, that's his life. He's taking medication, abusing Madeline, and playing on video games, painting Warhammer, and buying children's cards and things like that. That's his life at nearly 40 years old. That's what he does with his life. Good God. Do you know what? How many people are there like him, though? This is what worries me. He won't, he's not the only one. He's just unlucky enough to have got caught. There'll be loads happening all the time. A parasite living off other people and acting as if he's about 12.
Yeah, Coliseum of Comics. Stopped by a couple Targets, and I was going to go to House Rules Games down by Oak and 192. But I didn't make it that far. I got a flat tire on the way.
Do you remember where you got your flat tire?
It was on 192. I pulled into one of those plazas somewhere. It's been about 10 years since I switched out a tire, though, so I made a lot of rookie mistakes and ended up pinning my thumb between the frame and the jack. Yeah, lucky it's not a lot worse than it could have been.
Do you remember the name of the plaza by any chance?
I'm not talking about somebody playing on an Xbox or playing on a PlayStation. I'm talking about somebody whose whole life is children's things, and not working. He's got no reason why he shouldn't be working. And not, and of course, obviously, in abusing Madeline as well. There's nothing that, it's not a question of, coming home from work and getting on the Xbox to switch off or whatever. I know a lot of people do that. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about somebody who's living in a fantasy world, even though they're nearly 40 years old.
Yes. Do you remember what stores were?
It was like right before you got to Oak, though. So it was one of those little strips.
Okay. And then
but I did not make it back in time because of that. I thankfully had the spare. I put that on and tried to get back in time, but caught every red light on the way. She ended up leaving out. I was about 10 minutes late on it. So I called her and let her know what happened. I apologized profusely because I promised I'd be there with her to go pick her up. Just sat and waited. After that, she had already gone to get her, so I just sat and waited and hung out, straightened up the house a little bit. That was it. Then we got the call.
What do you mean you got the call?
Got the call from her that had not come out. So we started getting worried. Started making calls to her family. Be on the lookout. She might be walking to you. That's just when everything sort of started going downhill.
Was it?
Did you check on the map the southbound? The Greenville? I'm not sure where Greenville is. But she forgot her phone, right? Is it normal for her to not have her phone?
Unfortunately, she's severely ADHD, as am I. So it is not uncommon at all, and in fact, very, very usual thing for her to forget things.
So she's severely ADHD, as I am, he said. So, is he going to get away with it or get away with the death penalty because he's going to plead mental instability or, what he was saying the other day, what his mum was saying, that he'd had this accident. The defense lawyers, they're going to come up with everything they can to get him off the death penalty. You just cannot believe that he will be found not guilty. There's just too much evidence. There's so much evidence. But is he going to plead, not guilty on the grounds of, mental illness? That's probably what he's going to do.
Forget her head if it wasn't screwed on. And we're forgetful about, writing her about that point. It will remind her, and then it will leave our mind, and she'll say, okay, and then it will leave her mind.
And is she on medication for this stuff?
Normally, yes. She's been staying with her grandparents a lot this week. So she has not been getting her meds a lot.
Okay.
So she was really spacing.
Where?
Disney. Concierge in Cornell.
What changed in her hours that she needs all this thing?
She's training, so it's not a set schedule yet.
Okay.
It's just early this day, late closing training this day.
So different hours. Yeah, no, that takes a toll.
So I came up here. She needed help. I split my time between the two places. I needed a visit. We all needed to be a little happier together. So
That was a great thing. Joy thing. Just tell me.
And where's the McDonald's?
Right.
So that doesn't make sense. Right? Because the school's up here?
And we're messing up the streets again.
Yeah, town loop. Because this one's town center, but town loop.
We're just trying to figure out your direction of travel, right?
I'm so sorry. I'm so bad with that area over there, Hunters Creek.
You said you made a U-turn at the church to go see if she wanted McDonald's again, correct?
Yes.
Did you go anywhere else? Because I know you said you had time to kill.
Yeah.
Did you guys go anywhere else?
No, we didn't go anywhere else.
Is there a reason why you would be back on John Young Parkway?
When we tried to go back to McDonald's a second time, we would have.
Yeah, see how she catches him out there, so she's asking him where he goes. And she said, is there any reason you'd be back on whatever parkway? And he's got to rethink it. He starts to get a bit irritated now. She's good, this policewoman. She reminds me a bit of the one that was helping to arrest Rachel Marin's killer. She, just like polite, but not taking any shit, basically. She's good. They're all good. All the detectives I've heard being interviewing, either Stephan or his parents or Jen, they're really good at putting them at their ease when they need to, and then zoning in when they need to.
We made a left over there instead, and just looped around again.
What do you mean?
Just made a circle.
Made a circle house. Can you show me on the map? So this is the
going back
McDonald's right
down
here,
to
right?
McDonald's.
That's the McDonald's right there.
Correct. So going back down and then just straight shot back down.
You would come down this way?
I can't read the map. I'm so sorry.
Yep, I'll go.
Where's the McDonald's?
The McDonald's is right here. This is town loop. So this is John Young Parkway.
John
You guys are
Young,
coming
okay,
up John
this is
Young.
McDonald's.
Yep.
And the school's on this corner.
Correct. Somewhere over here. So we come back out here, there, and then we can take a straight shot back down to the school again there. They connect. Town Loop and Town Center connect.
Right.
So it's.
So where did you make the U-turn?
The U-turn was on the street when we were going to go back to McDonald's. And then we drove down to McDonald's here.
All right. So just so I don't get confused, you're going up John Young Parkway, right? You're going northbound.
Originally, yes.
Right. You make a left at the McDonald's.
Here, go towards the school.
Okay. How far did you get before you made the U-turn? So
we got. Is this the school right here?
Yep, that's town loop.
So we got up to here and then made a U-turn over here, past the median.
Okay. So.
Went back to McDonald's.
On Lincoln Town Loop.
Still time to kill. She still didn't want the McDonald's, but I did give her a raspberry and cheese Danish.
So did you go through the drive-thru? Did you go inside?
No, didn't go inside.
Where did you get the Danish from?
Oh, the Antonins that I brought from home. I gave her a couple of those to put in the car.
Okay.
So she wasn't without food totally. So we just continued past it again and turned around and said, screw it, just drop you off early.
Okay, so you came back around to the McDonald's.
And then right onto the school.
Is that back on John Young Parkway?
Yeah,
or?
back on the John Young Parkway. It comes down here. And then here's Town Center again.
So then you took Town Center.
Yes.
The second time around?
Yes, and then made a right down to the school.
Do you
Okay.
remember what time you dropped her off?
I estimated it to be sometime between 8:20, 8:40.
Are you on your phone? Do you have Google Maps?
I do, but I wasn't mapsing it.
When you're giving her rides, does she sit in the front or the back?
She sits in the front. She likes to sit in the front.
Do you mind if I look at your maps real quick?
Yeah, that's fine.
And just to confirm, also, you said, so the second time around, you said you went up Jonghyun Parkway, you went through Town Center this time, made a right on Town Loop, and then you said you
And
dropped
it
her off
was right here in this stretch here.
around this area. Okay. Which was before the underpass.
Correct. Before the underpass, just before the church. The church was ahead on the left. The underpass was just beyond that. The school was just on the other side of the underpass. So maybe
On the left-hand side.
maybe a block away.
Okay. And you said that that's typical of her to walk that distance?
Yeah, she likes the morning walks when it's cool. She doesn't like being seen getting out of certain cars. Being a middle schooler, it's an image thing. And she will sometimes like to hang out and wait for her friends. She's known to do that.
Okay.
Do you mind if I just take a picture of your history?
Yeah, that's fine.
And that time would have been, you said around
8:20ish, 8:30, sometime between 8:20 and 8:40.
What time does she go into class?
She has to be there no later than 9:15. Doors open at 8. Doors open at 9, I think. And then school officially starts around 9:20 or 9:28, I think.
Okay.
So I got it.
And when you dropped her off, is that earlier than typical, later than typical, around the same time?
Earlier than typical.
Really?
We had made really good time that morning, and with the subtraction of McDonald's, we had more time than usual.
Okay.
And she said it was okay. She was very confident, convincing that it would be fine.
And you saw what direction she walked to after you dropped her off?
Yeah, it looked like she was moving towards the direction of the school like she was supposed to.
Was she still on the right side of the road, or did she
She
cross
was
over?
when I left her, yeah, she was still on the right side.
What kind of phone is this?
S23 Ultra, I think.
I don't know how to work this thing.
So I barely know how to work it myself.
I'm an iPhone person.
No,
Is it okay if I go in your settings real quick? I just want to see if you're logged on to your Google.
I am not logged on to my Google with that, actually.
Is it okay if I check?
Yeah.
Does she have any other devices besides that phone? Any other electronics?
She had her school laptop with her.
Okay. Is that still supposed to be with her?
Still supposed to be with her, yes.
Okay. And what kind of book bag was she carrying?
Black book bag with like grayish blue hibiscus flowers on it, like a print.
When she leaves in the mornings, where does she usually put her phone?
Either in her backpack or like her back pocket, kind of wherever she just thinks to put it at the time.
Hold on, I don't know how to use this phone. Sorry, I don't mean to interrupt.
I don't know, you've probably been asked already, but she's never ran away or been away for longer than a certain period of time, amount of time, nothing like that.
No, I think she'd know what to do if she did run away. She's not the type. She's a good kid.
Besides the ADHD, is she diagnosed with anything else?
Yeah, she was tested a while back and had some symptoms of autism, so she's potentially on the spectrum there.
Okay.
She was officially diagnosed with it when she was younger, and then she was retested and said, well, she shows symptoms of being on the spectrum, but maybe not full-on autistic.
Is this what you use to go places?
Yes. Go places, search addresses, look at store hours, write reviews. It's a pretty new phone. Have we had any updates?
We literally have like 50 people right now on scene looking. I don't know if there's any updates. The best person would be the other detective because he's the one that is in charge of all this.
I don't think I've eaten anything since yesterday.
Yeah, I'm sure you guys are worried.
When did you come back to help Jen? Is that her name?
Yeah. What do you mean?
Like, because you live down south, right? When did you come back up north to help her?
I just got here this weekend.
Do you remember what day it was?
Sunday. Sunday was her birthday party, so yeah, it was the evening after her birthday party. Sunday.
Okay. Do you remember what time you got here on Sunday?
8:30ish maybe.
Okay.
Just in time to make sure that she was doing all her nighttime routines.
You live in North Pole, right?
Yeah, I split my time between the two.
Is that on?
Split my time between the two.
Is that Broward County or?
Sarasota County, I believe,
okay.
or Charlotte County, either way. It's my parents' house. They're old. They need help these days. And they got a house full of poodles. It's chaos. So I needed to come back up here and just get away from that. Between two deaf old people yelling at each other and poodles yapping all the time, it's enough to drive anyone up a wall. Just very happy to be back here.
Did you, when you guys were looking for you guys look?
Me and her stayed local. It was all the rest of the family that mobilized and was beating the bushes. And
Did you guys drive together or separate?
I don't think we drove anywhere when we were looking.
You didn't drive anywhere?
Not that I recall.
Did you guys go anywhere last night? Is that media?
Maybe. I think Fox 35 or something was running.
Yeah.
If it is, let me tell him he needs to take it out.
Okay.
I don't recall. You have to ask her if we went anywhere. I don't recall. I was so zonked out on Ativan at that point.
Okay.
To say it was a wreck. I don't.
And this would have been when?
I don't recall us going anywhere last night, but honestly, at that point, my brain was mush, and I was on so many tranquilizers to keep me stable. It's just.
You said Ativan?
Yeah. Yeah,
Do you usually take that, or
yeah, I have a prescription. I haven't needed it in a long time, though, but
what's that for?
anxiety.
Okay.
I was having these rolling panic attacks and breaking down crying, and I just...
It got lost, sorry.
Thank you. Here you go. And it was the only way I could get to sleep last night. And then again this afternoon. That's why I missed your calls. I'm sorry. I took an Ativan and conked out for a few hours. It's the only time when I'm not crying. It's okay if I just pop down real quick.
So we're trying to get just a good idea, times, all that stuff.
Yeah.
Um,
I'm so sorry. I'm giving my best recollections. I'm not a morning person as it is. So a lot of the times are best guess.
Remember, he's not a morning person. He's not a morning person. He can't be expected to remember everything. He's not a morning person. Poor baby. Poor baby. He can't remember everything. He's having panic attacks. His anxiety. You know, oh my God, we need to feel sorry for him.
but we know that you go up Jongyang Parkway down. That's the road you usually take to take her. And then you make a left at that McDonald's, right? Which is the town loop.
You can make a left to get there either at the McDonald's or at Town Center itself. They both lead to the school.
So if you leave her at, just so you get a sense of direction, Jongyang Parkway goes northbound and southbound. So you're going northbound into Orange County, making a left at the McDonald's, which is the town loop. You said when you did drop her off at that medium, you said it was around 8:20 to 8:30ish, somewhere around that time. Somewhere
in there, yeah. It was early, but not like outrageously early, you know.
So what would you estimate when you made a left at that McDonald's to be?
After I dropped her off?
No, I'm saying when you dropped her off.
First left by that McDonald's.
Yeah, when you first go, that first left that you make at the McDonald's.
It had to have been around maybe 8, maybe quarter after 8, sometime in there.
Okay.
Sometime between 8 and a quarter after, I think.
All right. So just so it's, you can kind of picture it here on the map. So you're going northbound. You make a left here around like 8:10, 8:15. Let's say 8:15, around there. When you get over here, you make a U-turn. You go back to the McDonald's. But you said that she still doesn't want the McDonald's.
Still doesn't want it. She was just going to eat the Danishes that I had given her.
So you're going up here now, still northbound on Jongyang Parkway. You make a left at Town Center this time.
Town Center, then make a right onto, yes.
And then you drop her off around like
dropped her off around halfway up the road there.
So keep in mind, all of this is still northbound.
Okay.
Right? You're still northbound on Jongyang Parkway.
Northbound.
So why is your car seen going southbound at 8:10? I'll show you what location it is. McDonald's is over here. At 8:10, your car is seen going southbound at this intersection. So meaning going toward Kissimmee.
I had forgotten something. I had forgotten my gate clicker. I'm sorry. I forgot. I had gone back to the house real quick after we left because I forgot my gate clicker. I actually had to go through the front gate and use my parking pass to grab my clicker. So it was the wrong time. I'm sorry. Like I said, I was guesstimating these times. I'm not a morning person.
There you go, saying it again. He's not a morning person. He's got all his times wrong. I love this way they're asking him things. And then when he says the answer, they know the real answer because they've got all the information about the door, the gate clicks and what have you. So they ask him the question, he says the wrong thing, and now his stock answer is, "Oh, I'm not a morning person. I'm not a morning person." He repeats that quite often.
Okay.
So yes, we've gone out.
How far did you get before you came back down? When you realized you forgot your clicker?
Nearly all the way to the school. And then we turned around. We had plenty of time to kill, so it was time to go back. I rushed back, got the clicker, and that's when I came back here this way.
So you guys came back here to get your clicker?
Correct.
So when we look at the cameras in the front, it's going to show you coming back in
Correct.
here with her in the car?
Yes, with her in the passenger seat,
Okay.
yes.
I know it sounds like we're asking you stupid questions, okay? We just want to verify
okay.
the
I'm
times.
sorry I'm not being more help. I'm not a morning person. I was half asleep as it was. I'm trying.
The clickers.
Yeah, he's getting a bit snappy now, isn't he? So that's the third time he's said, "I'm not a morning person." It's like he's getting on his nerves now that they keep. Because if this was his parents he was talking to, they would have accepted what he said by now, or Jen would. How dare these police keep questioning him? He's getting a little bit irritable, isn't he?
First to get where?
Into our neighborhood.
Okay, and you forgot the clicker where?
I had forgotten the clicker here.
So how did you get in?
I was able to use my parking sticker for them to scan to let me through.
Okay, so could you not have done that after you dropped her off? I
could have, but I also like to come back in from the back gate a lot of the times, and I didn't know if I would be back right away. And sometimes they're busy up front, so it's better not to wait in a line.
What time is security usually there at the front gate?
They were there when I came through. He scanned my ticket.
So would it have not just made more sense to drop her off and come back since security's already there?
I don't know if it made more sense. It's just what I did.
Okay.
There you go. Oh, thank you.
Anything else that we haven't asked you feels important? Maybe that might help us out?
I'm sorry, I'm having trouble recollecting everything.
I'm going to step away for a second.
Anything that you remember maybe she might have told you?
She didn't mention anything in particular. I made a joke about her Crocs. She wears Crocs and socks. So we were joking about that.
Would she say she's usually like a happy, go lucky girl?
Very happy. She brings a lot of joy. She's a very good girl. It definitely doesn't feel the same around here if she's not here. She was so happy too. She was looking forward to my visit here. She was looking forward to us all being together. She was just happy. She was just very happy.
So you'd say you guys have a pretty good relationship?
Yeah, definitely a very strong bond. And she goes to when gets in a fight with her and she needs someone to comfort her, and like I'm that person for her,
How's
good most of the time, Not long ago, so she's getting the PMS mood swings, and when they butt heads, and so as well as you can expect, but otherwise very loving. Very loving. This girl knows nothing but love here in this house. She hardly ever hears the word no. Double-edged sword that is.
This girl knows nothing but love in this house. Yeah.
How is she in school?
So-so. She's so-so in school.
Like grade-wise?
She's
or
doing a lot
behavior-wise?
better, though. Apparently, she just made Student of the Week.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah, so we're very proud of her. And she's doing singing, choir, and she's sounding just amazing. She sang for me last night. I immediately wanted to show her the movie Sister Act because of the choir singing. It was so pretty. It reminded me. I told her I was very proud of her.
Does she have does she like video games, anything like that?
She does like video games, yeah. She plays Roblox, Minecraft. I think those are the two big ones that I know of.
You don't know her to like ever have any friends on there that she talks to, anything
She
like that?
does. She does group chats. She does like voice chatting too on it. Usually with like her cousins or her friends, and they'll all be playing Roblox or something, and, yelling at each other on the phone.
When's the last time you all lived together?
December.
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 And you said the reason was for your parents down there?
Yeah, going down to help them because they're getting on in age and they're making their end of life plans and they need someone to help out.
Can you unlock this one more time? Please?
Sure.
I have a question.
Yes.
Sorry, are you guys done?
No. Okay.
The other detective mentioned that you did not have your phone yesterday.
Correct.
Tell me about that.
I left my phone at home in the morning too. I was so busy riding her to the door on time that I left my phone. She left her phone. We both left our phones.
Did you have your phone when you went to the smoke shop?
Not the first time after I dropped her off. I was still without it. I got my phone and went back to the smoke shop later when I got home.
And then I also noticed, I was checking your call history. I noticed that you don't have anything before this morning. Is that unusual on your phone?
No, it's a new phone. Stupid. I went to do an update yesterday morning, and I don't know what the fuck. Pardon me. I don't know what the heck I did, but somehow during the massive OS update, I managed to factory reset my phone and lose all of my contacts, all my information.
What time was that? Do you remember?
Oh, sometime while I was hanging out with Jen. Jen might know. I looked at her and said, "What did I just do?"
Okay.
She might know better. I don't know what time it was. It was when I was here with Jen.
Okay. I don't think I have any other questions. Do you, Louis?
I don't know where my head was yesterday. It was so far up my backside.
That's okay. We understand. In the meantime, while we're waiting for all this to get sorted out, I am going to hold on to your phone, okay? I'll give it back to you when we're done. Okay? Do you have any questions for us?
How long are you going to need my phone?
I'm not sure. I'm waiting for my supervisor to call me.
My dad. It's just my dad's using that to get a hold of me and get updates.
They can call Jen's phone.
Okay.
Did the other detective give you his business card?
I believe so.
Okay, well, here's mine in case you want it for any reason.
Okay.
Okay? Do you swear that everything you told us is true?
Yes.
Okay, thank you so much. Thanks for your time. We appreciate it. I know it's a little hectic right now. And then I know you were about to head somewhere. If you can just hang tight and refrain from going back in your car, please.
Oh, yeah, that's fine. I was actually going to move it over a spot.
No, just leave it here. It's fine. Thank you. Case number 24-11313. Today's date is February 28th, 2024. The time is 16 hours speaking with Stephan again. Okay. So, as you guys know, they have, right?
Mm-hmm.
They've been going through the phone, and they noticed that there was like a lot of messages between you and can you explain to me what your relationship is between?
Yeah. Mostly things like, when are you going to call us? When are you going to come up here and visit? Hey, poopy head, get online. Things like that.
Okay. Sorry, I don't mean to cut you off. Your phone. I told you that I was gonna hold on to it, and that we would like to download your phone, right?
Okay.
Is this something that I have your consent to do, or do I need to get a search warrant for your phone?
It should be fine.
You're okay with us going through your phone?
Yeah.
Okay. Can I have the PIN to your phone?
42586.
Four two five eight. Okay. Perfect. Thank you so much. And then, okay, so when you guys FaceTime, what do you guys talk about?
There too. We're just chatting.
Okay. I noticed that at some of the times that you guys are FaceTiming, it's like really late. Is it normal for her to be in bed late?
Yeah.
Okay.
And her bedtime's usually around 10:30, 11 o'clock. I talk to them both before bedtime when I'm not here.
Okay.
10:30 is supposed to be her bedtime, but she gets to push it sometimes.
Okay. When you guys are FaceTiming. Okay.
Some phone to FaceTime with her, sometimes FaceTiming them both together on one of the phones.
Okay. And then yet you said that yesterday you accidentally factory reset your phone, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you remember what time that was?
No, it was sometime in the morning. I've been pushing off doing an update for a while.
Was that before or after you went to the smoke shop?
Before? I'm not sure. I'm not a morning person. It's a newer phone. I was doing this update. It had some sort of weird option at the bottom that
I think that was the 4th time he said he wasn't a morning person.
said something about reinstall everything, and I wasn't paying attention to what I was doing.
Okay, can you
Jen was
explain
right
to
there
me,
with
where were you? Like, were you in your settings?
I was following whatever the links were for the OS update.
Where I don't have an Android, so I don't know where you.
I'm not super tech
Is
savvy.
it like
I'm
a
so sorry.
text? Was it?
It was a push notification that came in at the top that I had just been ignoring
Oh,
for
like
a long
up here.
time. Yeah.
Okay.
And then it was a it's a boneheaded maneuver.
Okay, and then where did it direct you to?
I don't know. It took me to a page with all the stuff in the system, and I clicked something. I wasn't paying attention.
Do you remember what it said? Like, what kind of update was it?
It was like a big OS update, and it had all these options, and it was like reinstall something with all the apps and stuff. Reinstall everything, the apps and stuff. I don't know exactly what I said. I pushed it, and it started doing the update, and then it turned into some sort of reset or something. I'm not sure how I did that.
Okay.
I was half asleep, and
then when you came back to get your key.
Yeah, I'm still not sure why he even bothered saying that, trying to do that, why he didn't set fire to his phone or throw it somewhere, in a river or something miles away, because maybe just didn't get a chance to do it, or maybe just couldn't bear to let go of it. I don't know, because he could have said he lost his phone, couldn't he? But he was crazy if he thought that a factory reset, one, that they would believe that anyone can do a factory reset by accident. My God, I've tried to do one on phones, and that's hard enough, even when I have to go through Google and do it. There's no way that anyone does a factory reset by accident. And that just shows really how stupid he is. If he really thought the police would fall for that, or if he really thought that the police still wouldn't be able to get those images up. Of course they would. Even I know that, and I'm not a techie person, and I think Stephan is a techie person. He's sort of pretending he isn't, but I bet he is, because I bet he knows exactly, what to do with images and stuff. So that was his, he was always going to get caught, but he just didn't seem to realise it.
Fob, what did you do when you got here?
Ran inside, got the key fob, ran back out again.
Okay, where did you park?
Right up here, I think.
Okay. How long would you say you were inside your apartment for?
Literally long enough to run in, grab the fob, and come back out. So.
Okay, and then what did you do?
Most.
What did you do when you came back out?
Got back in the car and went back on the morning mission.
Okay. The camera has you in the complex for 12 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Does that seem about right?
Yeah, coming into the complex, driving around, parking, getting the fob, coming back out. Sounds about right.
Okay. And then you leave. What time would you say you dropped her off at the school? Or not at the school, but in the area?
My estimate was sometime between 8:20 and 8:40.
Okay, the camera has you leaving the complex at 8:31.
8:31? Okay, so it must have been closer to 8:40 then.
Okay, and then after you dropped her off, did you go directly to the smoke shop?
I did. I went directly to the smoke shop. Waited. It was supposed to be open, but it wasn't. I waited a little while to see if they were just being slow about turning on the open sign. They weren't, so I went home at that point.
How long do you think you waited?
5-10 minutes maybe.
Okay, so if you drop her off at like 8:40, how far is the smoke shop from there to where you dropped her off?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure how many minutes. How far?
Did you go anywhere else after the smoke shop?
Sorry. I don't know. I don't think I went anywhere specific. I was just driving probably in the direction of home. But I don't remember stopping anywhere specifically.
And you were there for 5 to 10 minutes?
Roundabout.
Yeah, he really doesn't know what to say now, does he? Because he's realised that they've got him on CCTV, etc. So she's saying to him, oh, did you stop anywhere? Did you do this? And he's like, he doesn't know what to say. So he's just, going to come up with this, oh, I'm not a morning person again, or, oh, it's the medication, or blah, 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 blah. He's at this point now where he's realised they know more than he thought they knew. And so he's not really sure what the right answer is now. It's very satisfying to hear that happen. Must feel so good to the detectives, when they realise he's on the back foot. He's just, they know, and now they know that he knows that they know, and now it's just a question of, bringing it all to a circle and arresting him.
I think.
Okay, so like let's say you drop her off at 8:40. We don't see your car coming back south until 10 o'clock in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
So what are you doing between 8:40 and 10 o'clock?
Cruising around a little bit.
Okay, but I asked you earlier, like what you were doing, and you said you were there for like 5 or 10 minutes, and then you came back home.
Yeah, well, I went to the smoke shop, like I said. But I may have been meandering around the area, but I made my way home.
Okay, but I'm asking you earlier, right? And even like the first time we talked to you, you're not telling us that you're like, just cruising the area, like you're coming home. So I need to be able to explain to my supervisors why there's such a time gap.
I mean, I don't know what to say. It was just a normal day. I didn't have anything important to do. The smoke shop was supposed to open soon, so I made my way over there. Wasn't any particular rush, though.
Okay, but can you help me explain to them? Because I don't know the explanation or the answer to this question, okay? So can you help me explain to them why there's such a delay in the time?
No, can't explain it. I wasn't going anywhere in particular. I wasn't doing anything in particular. Just making my way to the smoke shop. Waited for them to open. They did not open. And then I left.
Where did you go from there?
From the smoke shop, I went home.
Okay, the smoke shop is like 10 minutes from here, right?
15, 20-ish, something like that.
Earlier you told us it was 10 minutes.
Time is not a strong suit of mine. I'm guesstimating here.
I understand, but I have to be able to explain, where you were for an hour.
Time is not a strong suit of mine. Oh God, I'm not a morning person. I was just meandering around the area. Time's not a strong point. Even my dog's like protesting. And as I've said before, this interview was the 28th of February. So Madeline only went missing on the 26th. So they're not asking him to recall something he did, a month ago. It was literally 2 days ago on the day that his stepdaughter went missing. If you'd remember anything, you would remember that. But him and Jen, they don't remember anything.
Hour and 20 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
And right now, I can't explain that.
Okay. Smoke shop was supposed to open close to 10. I waited. They did not open. And I came home.
Okay. What time specifically was it supposed to open?
10 o'clock is when it's supposed to open.
So why'd you go at 8:40?
Exactly.
Like I said, I didn't go exactly at 8:40. I went to the smoke shop after I dropped her off.
But even if it was 9 o'clock, that still would have been an hour before they're supposed to open.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah, exactly. This is what we were saying earlier. You don't go to a place that's going to open at 10. You don't go at 10 to 9. You might go at 10 to 10 and sit and wait for the 10 minutes until it opened. But you don't go and wait for an hour and 10 minutes before something opens. People just don't do that. They just don't do it. You literally might turn up a little bit early, but not an hour and 10 minutes early.
But why would you think it would be open?
I didn't think it would be open. I was hoping I would get there early enough and wait for it to open.
So you would have waited an hour for it to be open?
I did not wait an hour. I got there maybe 20 minutes before it opened, 15 minutes before it opened, and just sat and waited.
But then you're seen coming at 10 a.m. when it's supposed to open, already coming down.
Leaving because it was supposed to open at 10 a.m. I waited a few minutes after 10. They were not opening, and that's when I left.
You did not wait 2 minutes.
So imagine. So what he's basically saying is he waited, well, he says only 15 minutes. But really, if he supposedly went there after he dropped Jen off, he would have been there like at about 9 o'clock. So what he's saying is he waited all that time till 10. And when it didn't open, because then he was seen, because the policeman pulled him up on it. He said, oh, well, you were seen in such and such a place at 10 or just after 10 when you were supposed to be at the vape shop. So what he's saying is he waited all that time before 10 But when it came to 10, he only waited a couple of minutes and then off he went. You know, he really, because he's so stupid. He thinks everyone's as stupid as him, doesn't he? Yeah, so yeah, I waited an hour for it to be 10 o'clock, but as soon as it got to 10 o'clock, I only waited 2 minutes. Our dog she's really, I don't know if she's crying for attention.
What do you mean?
At 10 a.m., you were seen coming down southbound on Jongyang Parkway at the intersection of Jongyang
At 10
Parkway.
a.m., I was still in front of that shop waiting to see if they were going to turn on the open sign.
Okay, but if you dropped at 8:40 and you said you only waited for a couple minutes at the smoke shop, why would you still be there at 10?
I waited to see if it would open, and they did not open.
We got that part, but you said you were there for a couple of minutes.
Mm-hmm.
And then you said you were there after a couple minutes after 10. So that's
it doesn't make
doesn't
sense.
make sense.
I apologize for that. I'm trying to help you out the best that I can, but
Right. So, like, if you drop her off around 8:40,
I'm trying to help you out the best I can. Help them out. They're looking for your stepdaughter. They're trying to help you out, Stephan. But obviously, by now they know, don't they? They must know. The way he says, "Oh, I'm sorry, I'm trying to help you out the best I can," as if, you know, he's doing them a favour. I don't know. Just these, you know, supposed to be, you know, these masterminds. As soon as they're up against somebody, thing is, Jem was easy to manipulate. Seems like his parents were easy to manipulate. Everybody, Madeline, of course, she was a child. She was easy to manipulate. As soon as he comes up against somebody proper, you know, somebody who's not just blinded by the fact that they're his parents, or, you know, the fact that they're on too much medication, they can't even think straight. As soon as he's faced by somebody proper interrogating him, he can't believe they don't believe him, or they're not listening to him.
let's say, give or take 10 minutes, you make it to the shop around 9, the smoke shop, and you sit there and wait for a couple minutes for it to open. You said you waited for maybe 5 or 10 minutes, right? Mm-hmm. Does it make sense that you're still there at 10 o'clock?
I was there at 10 o'clock.
Okay, so what did you do before that?
I dropped her off, and I made my way over. Not a direct route, but I made my way over there.
Did you stop anywhere on your way to the smoke shop?
I don't think so.
Do you have problems with your memory that you can't recall what you did?
I'm extremely ADHD. I'm sorry. So just details start to get fuzzy after a while. Even the times I'm giving you are my best guesstimates here. I didn't have my phone with me at the time, so I wasn't aware of exactly what time.
There's no time on your car?
Transpiring. There probably is, but it's not my car. It's my parents' car.
How certain are you that you were outside of the smoke shop at 10 a.m.?
90% sure.
What makes you think that you were there at 10?
I saw lights on inside the place. It looked like they were coming to life in there. Mm-hmm. So it looked like they were about to open. Mm-hmm. And I was waiting to see if they were going to turn on the open.
Do you remember if there was anybody inside?
I couldn't see inside from the outside. But after I came home and then went back to the smoke shop again later, when they definitely were open, I stopped in and got my vape juice finally. I don't remember the...
Yeah, in the papers that were released a little while ago, we did go through them all, but, you know, it was hard going. You probably missed it, Chumba. But he was researching a lot of this drug, Sevuraflame, is a drug that is used to sedate children, you know, and he was researching it. So, yeah. Had he been given, why was he researching it? Had he been giving it to Maddie? You know, these are all things that will come out at the trial.
The name of the guy working there, but he was like a skinny guy, short, skinny guy.
When you came back for the fob, did she go inside with you?
No, she was in the car still. She was asleep.
Where in the car?
Passenger side.
The front seat.
Correct.
Okay. Did she at any point go in the back of the vehicle, like in the back seat?
No.
So she was in the front the whole time?
Mm-hmm.
Awake or asleep?
She was asleep.
Okay.
She was confident. We had gotten up.
How was she positioned in the front seat?
Right, before they get into this, because she's asking him now how she was positioned, I just want to read out to you about this anesthetic. So sevoflurane is a volatile anesthetic that provides hypnosis, amnesia, analgesia, akinesia, and autonomic blockade during surgical and procedural interventions. Its clinical uses: inhalational induction of general anesthesia in neonatal and pediatric patients, secondary to inadequate pre-induction intravenous access. So if I'm looking up now, listen to this. So what does sevoflurane do to the body? It induces muscle relaxation and reduces sensitivity by altering tissue excitability with a fast onset of action. I mean, you know, it just makes you think, why was he looking for all this? You know, did he use this on Maddie? You know, because of says, unlike other anesthetics, sevoflurane has a pleasant odor and it does not irritate the airway. The hemodynamic and respiratory depressive effects of sevoflurane are well tolerated, and most patients receiving this anesthetic present little toxicity. Therefore, it can be used for inhalational induction in adults and children for a wide variety of anesthetic procedures. Yeah. So the thing is, that's what he was doing. He was researching that. Did he give it? And now that, I don't know if that will come up in her, you know, her forensic analysis of her autopsy. Of course, we're not allowed to know the results of that yet, maybe at the trial. Anyway, so now they're going to ask him about how Madeleine was positioned in the car. Just put it back a tiny little bit in case, so that we can listen to it all.
Where in the car?
Passenger side.
The front seat.
Correct.
Okay. Did she at any point go in the back of the vehicle, like in the back seat?
No.
So she was in the front the whole time?
Mm-hmm.
Awake or asleep?
She was asleep.
Okay.
She was confident. We had gotten up.
How was she positioned in the front seat?
Leaned back in the seat, just kind of conked out, napping.
Where was her head in relation to the seat?
Against the seat, I think. Against it. Just.
Was the seat leaning back, or
the seat was leaning back? Yeah, she had leaned the seat back so that she could recline and.
Okay. And then I need you to try to, you know, refresh your memory. When you got the flat tire on 192, what could you see around you?
It's 192. It all looks the same. I'm so sorry. I'm drawing a blank as any specific businesses or names.
Did he pull off to the side of the road to a business?
I pulled off into a side plaza, like one of those little strips along the side. Dug around for my spare and my jack. Thankfully, we had both.
What direction were you coming in?
I was going towards John Young.
Okay.
So that direction.
And it was a plaza. You don't remember any businesses that were in the plaza?
I don't. I was focused on the.
What
wheel
color
that
is the
was-
plaza?
Oh God, I have no idea what color the plaza was. I'm sorry, didn't even register a detail like that.
Okay, remind me again what you were doing on 192.
I was looking around at different game shops. One of my card games just had a release on Friday, Lorcana.
What card are you talking about?
It's like a trading card game. And they had a big release on Friday, so I wanted to go around.
What's
to
the
see.
card though?
I'm sorry.
What is the game?
It's called Lorcana.
Lorcana?
Yeah, Lorcana. It's a trading card game made by Disney, kind of like Pokemon cards or Magic the Gathering.
Okay, and you stopped at what shop?
I stopped over by.
There he goes again with his children's things. Do you know, this is his, you know, he's definitely in a different world. I'm sorry, you know, you can hear it in the policewoman's voice. She's like, well, what's the game? What's it called? And he's like, oh, yeah, just a Disney card game that he's waiting for it to come out.
By Target. I was going to see if they had any. I then went up and was going to go to a place called House Rules Games. That is on 192 and Oak Street.
Mm-hmm.
I did not make it to House Rules Games because I got a flat tire.
Okay, which Target did you go to?
The one down on 192.
192 and what?
Is there more than one down there?
I don't know. I'm not familiar with the area.
It's the one down there by the Walmart, I think. I'm not sure what the cross streets are. I'm sorry.
Yeah, she's very good, this detective, because she's trying to pin him down. And then when he said, oh, is there more than one? She said, I don't know. I'm not familiar with the area. You know, it's like she doesn't know. She's just trying to get him to say whatever. So she's very good at trying to pin him down. He, you know, like, which Walmart did you go to? Because he's saying he went to a Walmart, but I suppose they're thinking he didn't go to a Walmart. So what he was doing was disposing of Maddie. And if he did go to a Walmart, he'll be on the CCTV because Walmart has CCTV. So, you know, they're very good.
I'm so sorry. I wish I could be more help. I'm so sorry.
And how long will you change your entire flip?
I'm not sure how long it took. I got back here by like 2:35, 2:40, because I was trying to get home to go with her to go to school. And we needed to leave by 2:30. The flat tire made me late for that.
Okay. And there's absolutely nothing that you can remember about the plaza that you got the flat.
No, I don't remember color. I mean, it's all just kind of brownish, I think, along there.
And you said when you got your flat, you were heading towards JYP from 192.
Yes.
Okay, where's your flat tire at?
It's in the trunk.
Okay.
I've got the spare on there right now.
Yeah, I saw the spare. I don't think I have anything else. It's my phone number.
Mhm.
If you can remember where you got your flat tire, just have her send me a text message, okay?
Okay. I'm so sorry.
That's okay.
I know the details are important, and just the way our brains work with ADHD is those things can get fuzzy.
Are you on any medication?
I'm supposed to be. I have not been medicated lately, so
Okay.
I'm not a morning person. I'm very time blind on the best of days.
That must be about the 5th or 6th time he said he's not a morning person. And he said he's time blind. Gosh, Yeah, what excuses? I'm not a morning person and I'm time blind and I'm on all this medication. And poor me. He's another one who's not really expressed any concern for Madeline at all. You know, we listened to his parents' interview and all they were bothered about was their poodle ambulance. You know, not once did they say, oh, isn't it awful what's happened to Madeline, that poor little girl, what she's been through. Not once did those parents, and not once has he said, poor Madeline, how awful what she must have gone through, or blah, de, blah, de, blah, de, blah, de, blah. They don't care. His parents didn't care about Madeline, only about how it affected them. He doesn't care about Madeline. He's not mentioned that once. And to be honest, Jen didn't care that much either. You know, this is what I've been saying right from the beginning. Who cared about this girl? She didn't think she could talk to her own father. She didn't have a teacher she could talk to. She couldn't talk to her friends. She was living in a house with loads of other people. She couldn't talk to them. She couldn't talk to her extended family, even though she had a big extended family. You know, just let down by everybody, that girl. But mostly by him. Obviously, he's the one who did whatever it was.
And forgetful. So I understand that none of that is helpful in this case.
Okay.
I'm pretty sorry.
I explained that we're gonna have the apartment secured for the rest of the night. Okay?
Why? So the investigation is not going to happen tonight?
It is. So just so I explained to her, me and him have been out all day, right? So we're
what was I going to say there? There was something I was going to say then and I've forgotten it, so I might just start. It's coming near the end now, but yeah, he's just like, he's expecting he can go back in the apartment. He's still not, you know, ding, the penny still hasn't dropped, that they don't believe him, that his story isn't making sense, that his factory reset hasn't worked. It's still not really clicking with him, is it? Not fully. He sort of knows, but he's thinking he can go back into the house, everything will be fine. And I was thinking about him not being a morning person. Well, he's going to get a shock when he goes to prison, because he won't get a choice what time he gets up, will he? I believe they get him up quite early, don't they? He won't be having a lie in. You know, he'll be getting up early and, you know, doing whatever they tell him to do at whatever time they tell him to do it. God, crackers this.
We're going to go home, but just because me and him are going home doesn't mean that there isn't other people out here, okay?
Mm-hmm.
We have another unit out here, which is called Violent Crimes. They're out all night. So they're going to keep looking. We also have some of our detectives that were sent home earlier to get rest because they were going to come and relieve me and him, right? So we're going to take like shifts with the investigation because obviously if we're exhausted, we're of no use, right?
We're all exhausted too.
Right. Does
My
that
brain is mush.
Right. And we don't want that to happen with anything that we're doing. So what we're doing is we're taking turns with whatever needs to be done. So we'll brief whoever's coming next, and then we'll, hey, this is what we did. This is what needs to be done. Okay. The reason we are keeping your house for the night is because your house cannot be completed by one person, right? We don't do that. We have a unit that comes and takes pictures and does whatever they need to do.
I think the sound's fine, David. I don't think there's any problem with the sound. Maybe, is it on your end?
With the house. After a certain time, it's only one person working in that unit. And she can do it by herself. So people come in at 8 o'clock in the morning. So when the rest of her squad comes in, they're going to come in and, you know, tackle your place as a unit so that they can get it done quicker. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
And then I explained to her too, because in your car, we are going to also tow your car. Okay. It's going to go to our sheriff's office, which is at 2500 West Colonial.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. She said she needed to get her medication. You're not under any medication.
I have medication in the house, though, that I do need to get my blood pressure meds and anxiety meds as well.
Okay. So I'm going to try to figure out where all of this stuff is. Where's your stuff at?
Upstairs in the guest room currently.
In guest room number 4?
Yes. And it's on top of the mini refrigerator.
Is it on? Does it have your name on it?
Yes, all of it.
Okay.
There
Where
should be
does she
4
keep her?
bottles.
Where does she keep her medicine?
In her zipper case on her nightstand, I believe.
In the downstairs.
Correct.
What zipper?
It's like a little sort of brown zipper case. It's on her nightstand. So right on top of her
Okay, so I can just bring the whole thing out.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know if there's any bottles on top of the nightstand around it too, but you might
just
want to
grab all
grab
of
those.
it.
Yeah, just
Is
grab.
there anything that you can recall that we haven't asked you? I know we asked you like a whole bunch of questions earlier, and we just asked you like a whole bunch more.
I don't know. My brain is so much right now. I barely slept. I haven't eaten in 2 days. I'm trying.
Oh, bless, he's barely slept. He was asleep when the policeman phoned him. He's not eaten for 2 days. Oh my God, get the bloody violins out for Stephan. God, he still has not mentioned poor Madeline. Not mentioned her. Where is she? Is she okay? Nothing.
Trying to think of questions for you.
Can I see what shirt you're wearing?
What's that?
Can I see what shirt you're wearing?
Yeah. Just a blue shirt.
Okay.
Remember what shirt you were wearing on Monday morning?
I believe it was this shirt. I'm still wearing the same shirt.
Have you showered since then or anything?
I showered the other night. No, not since yesterday. Sorry, your hair is even still greasy.
I know you got a cut, right? From
changing the tire.
Do you mind if I see your arms?
Yeah, go for it. I haven't changed the tire.
Do you mind taking your sweater off?
It's cold, but yeah. I haven't changed the tire in like 10 years. I made a rookie mistake. Got my thumb too close to the jack in the frame and it slipped. I pinned my thumb in between the frame and the jack. I got lucky. I panicked and pulled it out, which you're not supposed to do.
Mm-hmm.
But there was a lot of pain. I panicked.
And flip your hand over. Can you see the other arm?
Mm-hmm. Whatever my parents used for a tire iron.
Do you mind if I take a picture of the cut you got?
Yeah, go for it.
Let me see if the flash works. Okay. Can you go like this again?
Mm-hmm.
And then flip it over for me. Let me do this. Flip it over, please. Okay.
Is it good?
Yeah. She got her stuff. So let me go get your stuff and then you guys will be good to go. Okay, where are you guys gonna head? Do you know?
No idea.
Okay. Can you text me an address of wherever you guys end up tonight?
I think my dad's on his way down too.
Okay. Let me just verify her pills, and that's it. Okay. And then your phone, they're gonna work on it overnight, so you'll probably get it in the morning. Is that okay?
Okay.
Okay.
There you go. Your phone, they're going to work on it overnight, so you'll probably get it back in the morning. Well, of course, that was Stephan Sterns' last morning of freedom, wasn't it? Last night of freedom. The next day he was arrested. So they worked on his phone overnight. They found all the things. And the very next day he was arrested. Thank God. And the only good thing is, he's not walking away from this. I mean, there's no way anyone's going to get him out of this. He's obviously guilty. It's just going to be a question of what he's going to, is he going to get the death penalty? Are they going to excuse him the death penalty on the grounds of anything? That's what's to come. But I can't see that he could not be found guilty. It's just too much evidence, isn't there? And there's a lot more, of course. We're getting to, it seems to be coming out thick and fast at the moment, because they're obviously preparing for the trial. They're in that what they call the discovery phase, and they're having to release their evidence, aren't they, to the defence team. That's how we're getting to see the evidence more and more all the time, and that will carry on. There'll be there's all sorts more to come out, no doubt about it. So it's tough to listen to and tough to watch these things, but it's good as well that they've got this evidence that they've got, because it means that they can create a watertight case. The case has been dealt with properly. The detectives have been very good. Remember, we listened to his mum and dad's interview. His dad went up there, didn't he, and stayed overnight with Stephan and Jen in the hotel. And then it was the next day that Stephan was arrested, and that was it. He won't be seeing the light of day again, that's for sure. So, of course, everyone's still not sure about Jen, what she knew, didn't know. I personally don't think she knew anything. I think she was so drugged up, and so she's not a good parent, obviously. I'm not sticking up for her in that sense. But anyway, if she did do anything, she'll get charged sooner or later if there's anything to charge her with. That we just have to wait and see. Yeah, Auntie Ree, I'm going to talk about Wade Wilson tonight in the members live. Because tonight in members live we're going to be talking about Wade Wilson. I haven't mentioned him at all yet, but he's just been given the death penalty, so we'll have a look at his is a very strange case. They're all very strange cases, aren't they? Anyway, thank you for watching. Thank you for spending some time with me here, taking some time out your Thursday to spend with Vicky Marie Chats and listening to this guy. And I'll see you tonight in the members live. Please think about becoming a member if you're not one already, and we'll have a chat later. Anyway, in the meantime, take care. I love you all, and I'll see you later. As I say, adios.